My name is Father Ed Phillips. I'm a Maryknoll priest, and I've been blessed to do different works within Maryknoll, within mission, in my 50 years as a Maryknoll missioner. Over 30 years ago, it was really God's Spirit led me to a ministry which I felt was the fulfillment of my life as a Maryknoll missioner. HIV/AIDS had just broken out around the world, and I was working within the slums of Nairobi. People were dying, no one knew what was going on, and we became to understand a word called AIDS. And so with money from Maryknoll, we were able to start very small. And in the beginning, all we saw was death, death, death.
My name is Alice Joroge. I've been in EDARP for the last 30 years. This is my 30th year. We started the program with Father Ed Phillips in 1993. It was at a time when our hospitals were really full, and patients with AIDS would be sent home to go and die.
We said, if we just keep alive for three days, a week, a month, and when they die in peace and with comfort. And it was most trying for the small staff I had. And every week they would get together for their own support and talk and to cry and to keep themselves going. From that small, very harsh and sad condition, over the last 30 years, we've really been blessed.
So with time, we trained small groups of volunteers who are Christian faithfuls from the small Christian communities, and we trained them how to just give basic home-based care and to be there for the patients. And this really had a lot of impact, because through their modeling and being seen by neighbors going into the homes of people who they feared, people started getting involved with the patients, and they would now no longer see them as people who would not be touched, but they started having a bit of compassion for them.
I have over 30,000 patients now under care in our sites in the slums of Nairobi. Even before antiretroviral drugs were introduced, our philosophy was, if we keep a mother alive, we keep a family alive. And we work very diligently that just with simple medications, keeping that mother alive 2, 3, 4, 5 years before she died of AIDS. So she was there with her children. And some plan could be taken for what was to happen to children later on. Then, when antiretroviral drugs came, we began to see a drastic change in the lives of our people.
We are able now to care for our patients very comprehensively, knowing that even the results that we give them, they are accurate, because we have an ongoing EQA, which is within the system. We also are proud to say that we give our patients the very best care that is possible, more than any other HIV program that we know of. And if it was not for the Maryknoll fathers, we would not be where we are, because they kept and they believed in what we were doing, and they kept sending their funding. Although the funding cannot cover everything, it covers the most needs that are not taken care of by any other donor.
65% of my population is female. So I have received some assistance with cervical cancer treatment kits. So slowly now we're putting all our mothers on a yearly checkup to see if they have symptoms of cervical cancer. If we catch cervical cancer earlier, the treatment we use will remove the potential cancer. Our people know we walk the life of Jesus. We show the love of Jesus to all our people. Someone might have a PhD in sin. We're there to welcome them and to love them and to treat them and to know they're respected as one of God's daughters or sons.
It is there with our community healthcare workers to love Jesus by serving others, to see the face of Jesus in that patient. I cannot describe it any better than seeing the patients, the joy with which they go out, the joy with which they serve, the joy with which they are so happy to see their patients getting better. So our people have learned from the community healthcare workers to see Jesus in the patients that they serve. And that to me is the greatest prayer that is answered every day in EDARP. We may not be very prayerful, but I think, and we all come from different denominations, but this is one thing, one identity we have in common, that people identify with the patients as if they are their own brothers, as if they are own mothers, as if they are their own sisters. So that is where we are with EDARP.
As Jesus led me to walk my life amongst the poor and HIV in Nairobi, I truly need to ask of you, can you walk the walk with us? I know you're not going to be walking through the slums of Nairobi. I know you're not going to be treating people. I know you're not going to be seeing the joys and the sadness. But in your hearts and your minds and in your prayers, I'm walking the walk that a child stays strong, that a mother stays strong, that a family stays strong. And the poor and the marginalized that Jesus talks about in the gospel, we are there to love them and care for them. And I can do that with my emotions and my love and my experience, but I can't walk the walk for all my staff and all my people on an empty pocket. I know we're having trouble in the United States. Cost of living is still high. But maybe it might mean is that you cut down once a month on maybe going out on a Friday night just for dinner together and have something simple. But whatever it is, even if it's only 50 cents, please walk the walk of life, the life of Jesus, with me and my 30,000 patients in the slums of Nairobi. Let this be a celebration of your life, your love, your faith with us.